Friday, where a member of the Rogers Public Library staff tells you something they are a fan of. I had a unique idea for this week's Fandom Friday. What if we focused on books where you had an animal protagonist who acts like an actual animal? What I mean is there are plenty of books out there that have animals as the main characters or as major characters. Redwall, one of my favorite books of all time, Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nem. However, most of those have the characters, these animals, speaking with other animals, speaking in English, acting like human beings, more or less. They're just people who happen to be animals, people in animal skins, so to speak. And so I was wondering what happens when an author tries to write from an actual animal's perspective, like trying to think and write a character that's acting like an animal and making them their main character. So in that regards, really good books like Bambi or the Warriors series by Aaron Hunter don't actually count because those characters talk to each other. Bambi talks with other animals and with his mother, like a human being would. Those are great books. By all means, read them. But for this particular list, I'm thinking of books where the author took the challenge to make a animal character that was an animal. Of course, it's always difficult when a author tries to get into mind as something that's not human. But I had a few ideas and a few examples that I think would make a pretty good book list. Tell me below what are some examples of animal books where the characters act like animals that you know of and think might be worth a try. Let's start with Call of the Wild and White Fang by Jack London. Jack London really liked to tell tales of the rugged north in the gold rush days of Alaska. And his stories revolve around, in the case of Buck in Call of the Wild, a dog who survives in the Alaskan wilderness and slowly answers the call of the wild, while White Fang is a half dog, half wolf creature who eventually learns to adopt a human family. The Black Stallion by Walter Fairley, a classic about an Arabian black stallion who is found by a boy on a ship, and when the ship crashes on an island, they connect. And when they go back to the United States, he becomes a champion racehorse. There's a whole series of books involving the black and his children and other horses. Obviously, there's a lot of important human characters in these books, but ultimately, it's the story of the Black Stallion. Robert T. Becker is a paleontologist who helped advise on the Jurassic Park films. He's known for his books on the theory that dinosaurs were warm-blooded, but Raptor Red is a fiction book about a female Utahraptor trying to survive in a hostile world. Martin by Brian Doyle is a YA book about two characters. One is Dave, a 14-year-old boy living with his family in a cabin in the woods in Oregon, who is about to enter high school. And Martin, a pine marten, that is an animal like the mink or otter. And he's moving out on his own as well. The story follows both of them as they come of age and have their paths cross often in the Oregon mountains and woods. Well, I hope some of this gave you some food for thought. Again, let us know in a comment below if you have any great book ideas or if some of these books sound interesting to you. I'll be back next week with another Fandom Friday. Have a great weekend, everybody.